Hi guys. Hello. Hi. Welcome to Thursday. How is everybody? Has everyone had a good week? Hi. Welcome to the room. If you're new, hi Christy. If you're new to us, let us know. Thank you, Leah. Thank you. My nanny actually got me this for my birthday. Pretty awesome. Hi, Susan. Hi, Marcia. So yeah. Hi, Foster Barn. I love these names. It's hard. I guess if you saw me as well, you would be like, hi, Smart Dating Academy. How are you? And even though my name is Bella. Hi, Heather. Hi, I'm new 20 Fly Girl. Tell us your name. Tammy. Hi. Hi, Joe. Hi, Laura. Hi, everyone. I love that we're all a little family and we all know each other. Hi, Janet and Jennifer. Adrian, thank you so much. Janet, you're on the treadmill. You're not in the bathroom today. Of course, because your bathroom is being renovated. I feel like I know all of you guys. Jan, welcome to our IG family. Peggy, hi. So good to see you. How are you guys doing? I hope everybody is wonderful. Thank you for the birthday wishes. I know, I can't believe it. It's been such an incredible, lovely week. Hi, Kate. So people asked, how was your birthday yesterday? I'm like, honestly, it could not have been better. One of my best friends took me out for lunch. Another one of my best friends and I grabbed a drink at in our opinion, the most beautiful restaurant in Chicago. And then my whole family came over in the evening for a delicious Mexican dinner. And we had an amazing time. So, hi everybody. I was just regaling you guys with birthday tales. So it was really, really fun. Lots of cards, lots of great things, but I have to show you, I don't know if Eileen is on here yet, but Eileen sent me a total winner birthday present too. Hi, Jen. A brand new magic wand of my fairy godmother wand. Okay. Thanks, Joe. So you guys know I had my plastic Amazon janky old wand, which I may raffle for giveaway because you know there is a lot of good zhuzh around that. But this is like a heavy, like big, amazing, like this is like a wand. So I don't know if you're on here, Eileen, but thank you very much for this amazing wand. So I'll be whipping this thing around. It's not as easy to whip around as my old plastic wand because it's so light and I can do this, but this is like iron and there's vines on it and it came with like love spells that we could say out loud and do love spells. Thank you guys so much for all the birthday wishes. Love birthdays. So who's got something that they want to celebrate this week? And for those of you that are new, our approximate cadence is, you know, for the first 15 minutes, we chat, we celebrate people. I'll ask you right now who's got something to celebrate, who maybe had something sad happen to them and, you know, needs like love around them and we can elevate you. And then I usually get into our topic, which for tonight is ghosting, which is, you know, roughly like from the quarter hour to the other for 30 minutes ish. And then the last 15, 20 minutes, I answer the questions that you guys have provided via sticker. So if you're new, hi, we're so happy to have you here. I'm waving at everybody. I thought I had something to say to you. Who's got Eileen? I see you here. We were just praising you and we were praising the new wand. Guys, Eileen is our coach who joined us over the last couple of months who's doing amazing. So we were telling everybody that this wand came from you, Eileen, and how gorgeous it is. And everyone's loving the wand. So thank you for that. Marcia, your radiation is going well. Yay, Marcia. Oh, I'm so glad for you. Jan, you're nervous about your first date in 30 years. You're totally going to ace your first date. Jane, you did an outdoor yoga class, 70 degrees in Baltimore. I want to go. Oh my gosh, pretty. You got your first COVID-19 shot here. Chris L, first date tomorrow in 36 years. Thanks for all of your help. That just Sending you tons of love. All of you that are nervous about the first date, loving 36 years after a first date, that totally warmed my heart. So I'm so excited for you to do that. Okay, why is that doing that? Okay, I don't want to add a comment. Sorry, guys. Let's see, who else? You got your mastectomy tattoos fixed after surgery, messed them up. I am so glad. Bianca, everybody throw up some hearts to Bianca. She's one of our OG InstaFam members, Smart Dating Academy one-on-one coaching client. Bianca says, I have a new boyfriend. We're in phase 2, if you all read that. So Bianca, throwing up some hearts for you. Loving the wand. Oh, there's great news everywhere. Oh my goodness, I haven't had a date in 15 years. How do I start? Well, this is the best start that you could have, was being on this IG live tonight. So there's so much information. You can go back to my IGTVs. I think there's 10 of them now in the series, and you can watch all kinds of information. And you can go to my YouTube channel, which is Smart Dating Academy. And I'm sure there's stuff about first dates on there. But remember, the thing you need to do before you really start dating is get excited about dating, get psychotically optimistic about dating, right? And know how to have the first steps to having a good date and then being the best version of yourself on the dates. And there's so many great things that we can talk about with dating. So the way to start is just to do it. Bill, you've had 2 phone dates with 2 women, one for an hour and the other one was 2 hours. Amazing. Good evening, everyone from Chicago. Hi, Jillian. I'm so glad that we're giving you the courage to do this. Hi, Terry. Everybody, you're rekindling things, Kate, with an ex after 7 years. Things are going swimmingly well. That's wonderful. I'm so excited. And Cheryl, I'm really glad that you are with us. And Karen, I'm glad that you got here tonight as well. So I hope you guys are doing really, really well. Oh, Musaka Matthew, he's such a good man. All good. Everybody's doing great. Musaka Matthew, all of us. Never stop dating your partner. That's exactly right. Hi, Stephanie. Anybody else have anything that they want to celebrate? Anything that they need a little pick me up on, right? So you're too exhausting. Just kidding. No, Joe, it's never too exhausting. You got this. You guys totally have this. Hi, Jen from Atlanta. So glad we're an international IG live. So I'm sending you lots of love through my love pendant, through the love magic wand. We're going to have a great time tonight. Hold on, I'm gonna open my window, because every time I start these lives, I start talking and I get all verklempt, and I'm excited to see you guys. Does anybody have anything that they want to be uplifted for, or more celebrations? We want to celebrate you guys. Let me think. I clearly celebrated a birthday, and that was really, really fun. You need a boost to get your mojo back and take this on. Amen. Hi, Sharon. And Dee Dee. Hi, sweetheart. So let's see. When is it okay? Oh, good, Kathy. You got your second COVID shot. That's amazing. So glad to hear that. Wow. I'm so excited. I'm getting mine next week also. So I'm hoping that you're okay. And I'm hoping that all of you are getting your vaccines as you want them. You get your life mojo back, get your dating mojo back. Thanks for the birthday wishes, you guys. I love this. Kate asked a question that I'll just pop in here because I like it. When is it okay to bring up your value system with a partner, aka having children, future plans, spirituality? A good time to do that is before the person is actually your partner, right? You want to do that while you're pacing the relationship to make sure that your values are in accordance, that you want the same things out of relationships, out of love for the short term and the long term. So you want to measure 3 times and cut once. So it's all on the table. You don't want to do it too soon, but before you agree to becoming exclusive with somebody, these are all things you want to make sure that you want road mapped out, because sometimes you can be in a relationship, let's say you want to get married, like Jill Jill Sharer Murray, who was an amazing guest that we had on several weeks ago, who's the author of Big Wild Love. And Jill really always wanted to get married. And she spent 12 years in a relationship with a man who was loving and kind, but would not marry her, would not live with her. And finally, Jill pulled the plug, left the relationship, and let go of it for what she wanted, which was a committed partner that would marry her and live with her. And she met someone online, and she is fabulously happy. So that is what I will tell you, is don't leave those important questions about what you want out of life, religion, spirituality, where you want to live. Do you want to live together? Do you want to be in the same city? Do you want to have kids together? How are you going to blend your families, right? You know, if you lost your spouse and you have photos of your spouse up because they're just a part of your life, like all of these things are things to be talked about and negotiated before you commit to somebody. So let's see. Couple more celebrations. Let's see. New date on Saturday, museum, new exhibit, an early dinner or picnic. I want to go on that date with you. That sounds so good. Sunny, warm day in Jersey. Yay. We sent that your way. We've had some amazing weather in Chicago, and I hope that we're sending it out to you guys east and north. Yes, guys, it was my birthday yesterday. So good, Stephanie. You had a conversation with the person in the conversation tonight. Create that dating funnel. I love that. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Trying to figure out how to approach a gentleman whom I see twice a week at a coffee cafe shop. He's with other people, but there's eye contact and smiling and saying hello. Fine. Find a reason. Find something to say. Just say, hey, fancy meeting you here. Right? Here you are again. Are you following me? And you can say it with a flirty smile on your face, and that's all you have to do. Make the first move. That's it. Good. Keep your phone dates, Debbie, 15 to 20 minutes. How to shorten? Just tell them you've got about 20 minutes on the phone call and that you would love to talk to them more, but you're not able because you've got something else that you need to do. So that's how you can keep those phone calls short. So I'm so glad that you guys are excited for tonight's topic. Yeah, absolutely. Don't settle. So many. How do I look so young? Oh my God, Peggy, I love you. Let's see. What is this? There's so many good questions here. So I've got a couple of minutes before we get into our topic. How do you get a man to get you out of the friend to not look at you as a friend, but a potential significant other? Okay. So you're asking, how do you get out of the friend zone with the guy? Well, it depends on if he's attracted to you, right? If he's attracted to you, then you're automatically potentially out of the friend zone. So you have to discern whether he's attracted to you enough to potentially take that friendship into a dating relationship. So that's really the question that you're going to need to navigate with that. So let's see. How do you get your online profile up when you are deathly afraid of the camera? Come and see me. Oh my goodness, you should not be deathly afraid of the camera. You guys, we opened up our photo studio last week. We have had clients in the studio. The photos are outstanding. Don't be afraid. There are options. Come to Chicago. We're reopened. Our COVID's looking way better. Get your vaccines. Come see us. We're very COVID safe and COVID friendly, fully masked, makeup artist, photographer. So don't be afraid to get your photos done, right? That's the bad story that you're telling yourself. You're telling yourself somehow, I don't look good in photos. I'm not good enough. I'm not going to be pretty enough. I don't want to be rejected online. That's all the bad story. You got to get those bad monkey mind thoughts out of your mind and tell yourself, I get to date. I'm excited to date. And this is the way that I'm going to meet the lid to my pop, because he's not going to Uber Eats my food in, most likely. I mean, if he does, you're super lucky. But chances are you're going to have to be proactive and create that dating funnel. So don't tell yourself the bad story. That's all it is. If you're terrified of doing something, it's because you've got bad inner monologue going on that we need to work on and we need to change. So yes, dating can be exhausting. I'm so glad you went on a coffee date. Yeah, professional photographer will 100% help you. There's no doubt about that. So let's see. when you're deathly afraid, find a photographer who makes you comfortable, right? And happy in front of their camera. Absolutely, Karen Lee Photos. She's an amazing photographer in New York, and we're going to start to work with her in New York. Bela Gandhi has just been incredibly busy. So Karen does great photography, and she's going to do it through us. So there's no reason for you all to be nervous about photographs. Go to my site. Go to smartdatingacademy.com. Yes, AJ is magical. He's our photographer in Chicago at Smart Dating Academy. So have a photo on with the mask. Oh my gosh. No. So let's see. You've got to get into the mindset of the dating funnel. It's just tell yourself you get to do this. You get to create the funnel, and it's going to be fun. You just have to make sure that your picker is fixed. That's really the key. And for those of you who are so scared about dating and doing this, is your picker off, right? So how do you convince yourself to have a positive attitude when all you've experienced has been frustrating? It's a feedback loop, right? If everything that you've done has led you to frustration, then it's time to change something. So it's time to take control of that mindset and say, dating is going to be fun, and I'm going to meet smart, interesting, amazing people. And then change your photos, change your site, get a coach, get a therapist, get a village, whatever it is you need to do, but you have to do something actively to change the results that you're getting. Or you're right, you'll be on that hamster wheel of frustration forever. Okay, that's what happens. So no, we don't have a professional photographer in Dallas. So come to Chicago. That's your best choice, right? That is 100% what will happen. That's right. Christy does great photos too in San Diego. So there's lots of great ways to not be afraid of putting yourself out there. Okay, so I am going to try to hold off on the comments. You guys, Eileen is great at fielding the comments, and I just love talking and I love conversations. So, and I can multitask in between ghosting and the questions, but she's been doing an amazing job doing that. So I cannot have dating ADHD and be completely on for you guys. So as always, I welcome your comments. But today I wanted to talk a little bit about ghosting and what it is. I mean, just by a show of hands, if you guys want to throw in the heart emoji into the comments, how many of you have been ghosted by somebody that you've dated, by somebody that you have had a relationship with? Maybe you've been ghosted by a friend or a family member even. How many of you have been ghosted? So yeah, I estimate I'm gonna start to see a ton of hearts in the comments, right? Absolutely. I'm seeing lots and lots of hearts. I don't know anybody who hasn't ghosted or been ghosted, right? We've all done it. Okay, I'm seeing hearts lighting up in the comments right now. So I know every one of us has experienced this. So from a definitional standpoint, I'll read you my notes because I like my notes. Yeah, we were once ghosted after 2 dates. I hear you. People get ghosted. You guys, people get ghosted. The notes people wrote to me today, people have been ghosted by people they were dating for 4 months. I mean, it's just brutal what's happened. A friend of 2.5 years also. I know being ghosted by a friend can almost be more painful than being ghosted by somebody that you've dated a couple of times, right? And it's incredibly painful to go through that. We've all been through that. I've certainly been through it. Everybody I know mainly has been through it. So ghosting, right? Ghosting is ending a relationship abruptly with a friend or a lover by just vanishing like a ghost. No explanation. This could be a new relationship. It could be just a few dates in. It could be a long-standing friendship or a romantic relationship, okay? Ghosting, it's discontinuing all contact with somebody else. It could be as simple as failing to respond to a text exchange. It could be cutting off contact with somebody that you've even dated 2 or 3 times. It can we can ghost or ghost someone even after we've had sex with them, after we've been in love with them, right? So ghosting is something that can happen at any time. And that's what's awful about it. It can happen on the first date. It can happen while you're messaging with people on the apps, right? I mean, it's so painful, and we can be ghosted. I'm, looking at the comments just for a second. I'm looking at these things. People that, have been ghosted after 8 years, 5 years dating, friends for 30 years, poof, gone. It's brutal, right? And why is ghosting so incredibly painful, right? And because you know what it is? It's like the ultimate use of silent treatment, right? When somebody cuts us off, it's like they've gone completely silent. They've shut us out in the cold. We don't get to say our piece. We don't get to ask why. We don't get to get closure on that, right? You not only have to be silent, but you don't get to ask any questions, right? So it's awful. I mean, I see this. Can't you insist that a ghoster respond to you if you've been in a relationship for years? You can insist, but if they've ghosted you, they don't have to respond to you. That's what it is. That's what's awful about this is ghosters just vanish and you don't know why. And sometimes it's after nothing. Sometimes it can be after a fight. Sometimes it can be after a date that you thought was good, right? You don't know. Sometimes it can be those friendships that have gone on 5, 10, 20 years and somebody pulls the plug on you. It is so painful, incredibly painful. So Janet, big love to you about that. That's so painful. I don't understand why someone could think that that's okay to do, but I've read a lot about this, and they say sometimes people that have avoidant attachment, which aren't bad people, they romanticize and pedestalize what a relationship should look like, because ultimately they have a lot of walls around them and they can't really attach, even though they think they want to. And then as soon as something goes sideways, right, or you have a fight, or we don't respond to a text that they want, they think, well, you must not be my soulmate. You must not be perfect for me. So I'm just going to unplug and disappear, right? So it's not, there's a million different reasons that people do that. And ghosting isn't something that's new. I think the term really caught on fire in 2015 after the New York Times, I believe, made reference to somebody just disappearing like a ghost, right? But it's so much more common now in the digital world, right? Because we're on sites, we're on apps, and sometimes people feel like we're just photos and we're a series of words, that we're not people. So it can be so easy for people to just blow us off, right? And just not really think twice about it. So ghosting has happened since the beginning of time, but now it's this new term, and it seems like it's so much easier to do. And there's so many ways, more ways than people can ghost us, right? When I was a kid, right, in high school, college, right, you had to call somebody, right? We didn't have cell phones. We weren't texting. So the only way someone could really ghost you, right, is not returning your calls or not calling you. Now you can ghost somebody via text, you can ghost them on an app, you can block them. There's so many ways, that people can be ghosted. So, I think it's gotten easier to do as well, especially with the dating apps, because remember, in the past when we would meet people, like over the, 50, 100 years ago, 20 years ago, hell, even 10 years ago, most likely our social networks were people that we were intertwined with through family, friends, colleagues, and we would be less likely to just vanish because there would be social ramifications and consequences. But now when you're talking to somebody that you've only been communicating with, just from a dating standpoint, and they have no other ties to you, it can be a lot easier for people to just cut us off because they don't feel answerable to anybody else, right? It's not you're not going on a date with your best friend's brother or your best friend's cousin where you feel like you want to be a stand-up person. Suddenly you're like, whatever. So that's why I think it can be more common, is because digital just gives us less intertwined connection, so it doesn't make it any less painful. So red flags for people that can ghost you, okay? Listen carefully, you guys, when you're talking to somebody, a new potential date, a new potential relationship, even a new potential friend, okay? Listen to the way they talk about people that they have dated, people that they have been in relationships with, people that they have married, people that they were in friendships. Do they talk about all of the crazy people in their lives that they've had to just cut off, right? So a big red flag of somebody that might ghost you is somebody that says they've ghosted other people before, right? And they'll give you reasons why they had to ghost the person. But I always think if someone can do it to another person, they can absolutely do it for me as well, right? So that, and so why do people do it, right? That's really the question that I think so many of us have. Why do people ghost? People ghost for all kinds of reasons. Number one, sometimes people say it's the ultimate act of cowardice, right? And because they're cowards. And ultimately, what it turns out to be is that I lost my train of thought. I don't do that often. I was talking about red flags for ghosting. Right. So let me come back to that. That's why my brain went off for a second. So red flags, people that brag about having ghosted other people, have ghosted other people, and people that are just flaky, inconsistent, unreliable, right? I'm not saying those people could ghost you, but it kind of seems like it fits the bill, right? If the shoe fits, wear it. So people like that might be red flaggy around ghosting, right? So why do people ghost, right? People ghost because sometimes it's easier for them, right? It's the cowardly thing to do. They don't have to deal with the emotions of telling us the raw truth, right? It's easier to leave than saying, I'm not interested in you. What you did hurt me. I'm not attracted to you anymore. Whatever it is, they're not able to have that tough conversation, right? They're not able to sit through the pain of what it might do to you by breaking up with you or telling you the hard truth. So sometimes people think it's the kinder thing to do to just disappear, right? But usually it's because they're afraid to have the conversation, right? And so that certainly I'm not justifying the ghosting, right? Right, Joe. I definitely need a sip of wine. It was my birthday yesterday, so I think I had plenty of sips of wine. So I am back to the gallon jug of water with the lipstick on it because I've been drinking water all day today. But with regards to, that's really part of the psychology of why people ghost is they just can't have the adult conversation around it, right? And I'll tell you what though, sometimes there's no red flags at all about somebody that's going to ghost us, and they seem so nice and they seem so normal, and then suddenly the lights get turned out and it feels like we have been punched in the face, right? And why it's so painful, right? Because emotional pain through ghosting, right? Even through breakups, it activates the same pathways neurologically in our brain that physical pain does. That's what happens. And so that's why it feels like, so many people are like, God, I take physical pain over emotional pain, because emotional pain not only hurts your feelings and breaks your heart, but it also lights up. It's like your whole body is just saturated in that pain, right? So a question in here, right? It's, what if it's someone you were briefly texting, you haven't even met them yet? That could be ghosting, right? Or if you haven't met them yet, People are texting so many people on the sites and the apps. Sometimes people forget, and that's where I will tell you guys, do the nudge text. Like, hey, just checking in, making sure you haven't forgotten about me. So sometimes when people disappear, they're just navigating too many different texts, too many different emails, right? And they're overwhelmed with things. So give that person the benefit of the doubt and send them a nudge text. And then if they don't respond to that, then you might have the answer on your hands, right? So that's what happens. So it is very immature, you guys, that people do ghost. And you're right, sometimes people just want that fairy tale part, right? And they don't really understand how to truly connect to somebody. And when the issues arise that are very normal in a relationship, Andy and I have been happily married for over 20 years, and of course we have conflicts. We have conflicts sometimes on a daily basis, sometimes on a weekly basis, and that's all part of two humans being together. So it's, how do you navigate the conflict? It's not you shouldn't have any. Okay, so this is something that comes up a lot, right? Is this pedestalization of people. Well, if we have a problem, if we're having an argument, then you must not be my soulmate. So that is completely false, right? Period. So let's see okay, Eileen, cool, you're getting the answers because these are like flying up. So friend said you should always let the guy lead with calls and texts. What do you think? Nudging okay? Nudging is 100% okay. There's so much information that makes me crazy, like men should do this, women should do this, men should never do this, women should never do this. Y'all, we are living in 2021 in the 21st century, okay? You can nudge if you want to, right? I wanted to break out in like that old safety. You can nudge if you want to, you can leave your friends behind. Okay, I will stop singing to you guys, but you can absolutely nudge whether you're a man or a woman. The guy doesn't have to lead with calls or texts. Absolutely, Sherry, go for it. So you can totally do this. Be bold. Grab the steering wheel of your own dating life, you guys. You are not sitting on the sidelines, okay? Grab that steering wheel. I feel Preacher Bela's coming. Better wave the wand so she stays tamped down here. Grab the steering wheel of your dating life. You are not waiting for somebody. Okay? Remember, people need to earn you, okay? And you get to nudge them, and if they're not into you, move on. Don't stalk it. Build your funnel with people that are interested in you. That is what you need to do with your dating life, okay? Let's see. If you've been ghosted, the best things to know are the following. And I wrote these down because I didn't want to forget them, or I typed them out because you know me by now. If you've been ghosted by a romantic partner or a friend, what I want you to tell yourself is this. You can close your eyes and listen to my words. This says nothing about my worthiness or my ability to be a good partner or a good friend. I was a great partner or I was a great friend. Okay. Number 2, remember, if you've been ghosted, understand that person didn't have the courage to handle conflict, right? They didn't have the courage to handle discomfort, right? And it will show you that this person wasn't capable of a healthy relationship in the way you are, right? Like I was just saying, you have to be able to have the tough conversations with kindness and from a place of love. But if that person can't do that and they just unplug and vanish, you dodged a freaking bullet, okay? By somebody ghosting you. You didn't do anything wrong. They just showed you who they were, and now it's up to you to believe them, okay? That's it. If somebody ghosts you, it says nothing about your worth. It tells you that's who they were, period. That's it. Okay, if they unplug from you, you were a great partner, you were a great friend, maybe you were a great friend and a great partner. Okay, so you definitely, absolutely, Gia, you have to have somebody that can have tough conversations. That's the kind of person that you want. You want a partner that makes you feel safe, right? Where your relationship is easy, okay? Safe and easy are so, so important. And if you can't have a tough conversation with someone that you are partnered with, that you are exclusive with, that you are boyfriend, girlfriend with, that you are girlfriend with, whatever it is, then I would ask yourself, why? What are you afraid of? And maybe it's not the other person's fault. Maybe this is, trauma in your own past of not being able to speak your truth or to speak your pain because you're nervous that somebody's going to abandon you or reject you. Give that person a chance. Don't hold that in, okay? So that's what I would tell you about ghosting. And with ghosting, you guys, if you've been ghosted, and I know that you guys are all here in this IG fam because you are strong and you are resilient, and so many of us have been ghosted, right? And what I want you to know is that ghosting says 000 about your worth, okay? And that ghosting, you dodged a bullet by this person not being able to have that tough conversation or handle the tough things in the relationship. And most importantly, I don't want you to shut yourself down, right? Just because somebody ghosted you in the past doesn't mean that everybody out there will ghost you, that everybody out there will just disappear. I know ghosting can really trigger anxiety in a lot of people, and many people have anxious attachment styles, and that's a really hard thing to deal with. If you feel like that's where you sit, you've been ghosted and you're terrified of putting yourself out there because you don't want to go through that pain, number one, you've emerged from the pain. You've walked through the tunnel and you're here on this IG Live, and for that, I am so proud of you and send you a big hug. But if that is something that is holding you back from really immersing yourself in the dating process, is this fear of being ghosted, this fear of being hurt again, what I can tell you is then it's time for you to get some help. Build a village around you. Get a therapist that resonates with you. Get a coach that resonates with you. Find people. In our practice, all we do all day long is help people navigate their attachment styles and find people that are actually good for them, that will not reject you, that will not abandon you, that will know you and respect you like the awesome king or queen that you are. So get the help if you need the help, okay? But don't sit in fear, and please don't tell yourself the bad story long term that I'm not good enough and everybody in my life will ghost me. And I know I have been through that pain as well. I understand it can activate that anxiety and getting close to somebody. You just wonder, God, is this person going to break my heart again? But you know what? If we're constantly worried about that, we can't truly invest in another beautiful relationship or friendship that's in front of us, right? So we have to let go of that fear, okay? I want you to let go of your fear. I want you, if this has resonated with you and letting go of some of these fears of being rejected or abandoned or ghosted, throw a heart in the comments, because I want to know that you're filling yourself up with love and that you're feeling the love from us right now, because we're totally, we're sending you a ton of love. I think with regards to, somebody said help around attachment styles, there's a lot of literature out there. Again, knowledge is one thing, execution is wholly another, right? So having support around you as you go through that process, you can take an attachment quiz, you can learn about it, but breaking those magnets in attachment styles is really, if you would have told me 11 years ago, that's what our practice would really start to specialize in, and keep people on the straight and narrow, and making sure that you're not with somebody who's not good for you and avoiding those toxic magnets. I wouldn't have believed you, but 11 and a half years later, it's probably our biggest and best superpower. So just know, I tell you this so that you know you're not sitting out there alone in the Atlantic with no life vest on. There's plenty of help to be had out there. If you're not a person that can absorb something just from a book and implement it, or you don't want to go through those speed bumps and skin your knees and skin your elbows and your chin, or you're sick of that, enlist the help of a professional that can really help you. That can really help you. So that is what I would tell you about that. I mean, is there, the book Attached is good. Like I said, it is probably, what I can tell you is the product that we have called the Fix Your Picker Love Lab. Many of you, I think, on this IG Live have done Fix Your Picker Love Lab. It's amazing. I had a client this week She wasn't able to do Fix Your Picker, but she had bought a seat and she watched the recording of it. And she said to me, she literally called and said, I need to talk to you because you get a 30-minute comp session with me one-on-one after. And she said, Bella, the Fix Your Picker Love Lab was better than 20 years of therapy. It literally, I'm telling you the story right now, it put goosebumps on my arms. And she said, I need help. I've dabbled around with thinking about working with you. And she has started to be a client of ours on, for the next 6 months. So it is, this Love Lab is worth every cent. You guys, you can see people talking about it in the comments. It will really, really propel you along the way, and we're always here to help you. So I'm just glad that we're talking about this. The book is called Attached. It's by Dr. Amir Levine. So yeah, it's a great book. And so it's required reading even when we do Fix Your Picker and we're working with our clients one-on-one. So we have people read that, but then of course we're the safety net, helping people to navigate who they're magnetized towards and really keeping people going towards high GPQ. Thank you, Peggy. You recommend it. Peggy, tell us about your new relationship. Sounds like it's all moving in the right direction. So this is what I would tell you guys about fixing your pickers is so important, and there is help out there, but you got to make some movements to get the help personally, one-on-one, right? So that is, you can listen, read, listen, but ultimately I want to put you into action. Action is what breeds success, okay? Getting out there, doing it step by step. 100%. So your new boo, Peggy. Absolutely. Thanks, Adrian. I know Fix Your Picker was really good for you too. So let's see. Where are today's questions? I think these are, yeah. Okay. Sorry. I have so many things here with notes. So I've got some questions that people sent via email also. If you go on a first date, and neither of you contact the other afterwards, is that ghosting? I guess the same would apply to a phone call. No, that's not really ghosting. That's just if neither of you are interested, you just aren't recontacting somebody, but I don't define that as ghosting. Then it says, if one person contacts the other after the first date or phone call, then that person, I think, should respond back, if only to say they don't think they're a match. You can say it in a nice way, of course. Absolutely. If somebody reaches out after you've had a date, right, you don't want to ghost the person. If they ask you to go out again, you can say something nice, but just say that you're not a match, right? But you don't want to ghost the person, especially if you've been out on them. So here's another question. Is the guy expected to initiate the second date? Women certainly like it. It makes them feel like you're the man with the plan, right? If you initiate the second date. But ladies, if you haven't heard from the guys, send a nudge text too. And so guys, we work with a lot of guys as well in our one-on-one practice. And they love it when women initiate dates as well, especially if they like the woman, right? So that's what I would tell you about that. Let's see. Somebody says, what is the psychology behind ghosting? I think we covered that. So yes, people that don't want to have the hard conversations, or they're afraid of hurting your feelings, they think they're being kind. None of it's good, but they can't have adult conversations. So you're definitely dodging a bullet. Let's see. A question or a concern. Are all these fake profiles on dating sites? Guys post saying they live in a Chicago suburb, but after messaging for a bit, I find out that they live on an oil rig or in Afghanistan. How do sites like Match deal with this problem? It's very hard trying to assume best intent when situations like this keep occurring. Curious on how others in the IG family deal with this. I promise you, we deal with this all the time. It's very common. If somebody from out of state or says that they're out of the country, most likely they're catfishers. They're fake fake profiles, and ultimately they're looking to develop a rapport with you so they can ask you money, right? So if somebody says they're on an oil rig, they says they're deployed in the military in a foreign country, they're Doctors Without Borders, right? There's lots of signs of a catfisher. Just get rid of that person, and you can even report them to the sites and apps. The apps don't want those people on there, right? Because there's liability for them. So anytime you hear oil rig, peace out, see ya. So yeah, I have fake dating profiles. I get hit on by a lot of catfishers as well. Even on Facebook, I get friended by people that look amazing, but then when I go into what their interests are and the last places they've checked in, they're not from Chicago. They're from very, very, very far away lands. Let's just put it that way. Let's see. So what are some good conversation starters, like pickup lines? I'm guessing you mean with online dating. So with online dating, read somebody's profile and start the conversation that way. Find something to connect on and then end it with a question. That's typically the best thing that you can do to strike up a conversation. If you're talking about striking up a conversation in real life, it's like I said, whatever the question was about someone who is trying to strike up a conversation, who's on this IG Live in the comments with somebody that they see at Starbucks all the time. You can just say something funny like, "Are you following me?" Right? Or you can ask somebody what time it is, right? And it's so basic how you can strike up a conversation. You can be like, "Oh my God, can I borrow a pen from you?" I've seen people do all of it. If they're reading a book, "Hey, what is it that you're reading?" You can use anything to strike up a conversation. Look at something that they're wearing that you like. Do they have cool shoes? Do they have a funky necklace? Do they have a magic wand in their hands? What is it? Can you strike up conversation? And especially when you're out and about, striking up conversation, take into account the context that you're in. Can you, if you're at Starbucks, can you ask someone like, "Hey, what are you drinking?" Like, I've never tried the, blah, blah, blah latte, whatever it is. That's how you strike up a conversation. If the person is interested, they will absolutely engage you back, okay? And if they're not that interested, it's okay. Again, don't tell yourself the bad story. I just want you to give yourself an A+ for starting the conversation. And for that, I am very proud of you for doing that. Let's see. I'm 40 plus. Got a message today from a guy. "How are you, beautiful creature?" Do I respond? Sure. It's clearly a cut and paste text, right? But again, men, sometimes, I won't take you through the whole psychology of how men can approach online dating, especially in the beginning. But if they send you a cut and paste text, don't rule them out. Just say, "Hey there, I'm doing great. I see that you hiked up the Harbor Bridge in Sydney. I would love to do that. How are you?" So guys often will put a lot of worms out there with these cut and paste texts, and then they're going to play the odds of trying to build that funnel, and they're going to respond nicely to people that respond to them. So that's what I would tell you. "Hi, Jennifer." Yeah, oil rig is definitely like a mess. It's absolutely a scam. Although I do have this adorable client named Travis who legit works on oil rigs. But I can tell you what, he's not messaging people in the US when he's on a foreign oil rig. So he's actually on our site and he has a girlfriend and he met her and he still goes on oil rigs and she works her job. So, right. So not all oil rigs are bad, but if they say that they're on one in Afghanistan, it's probably not a legit thing. Let's see. Why do guys give you mixed signals? Now that is a loaded question, and maybe they don't know that they're giving you mixed signals, right? They may think that you don't like them, right? Maybe they don't want to be too pursuant and be too stalkery, right? Or maybe they're just ambivalent. They don't know what they want. So I think mixed signals, people show us who they are. It's up to us to believe them. If you feel like somebody's giving you mixed signals, just say, "Hey, you know what? I'm kind of trying to navigate this. Were you texting me because maybe you'd want to grab coffee again?" And just ask the question. You don't have to live in limbo, especially if you're anxious and you find your anxiety being triggered. Just ask the question that you want to know. And if the person is legit and good for you, they will totally answer your question, right? And Joe, that's right. It goes both ways. Women give mixed signals as well. If you don't know, ask the question, right? So don't keep the signals mixed, right? Decipher them by asking the question. Clear, kind communication will get you everywhere in the dating game. Lindsay writes scripts for people all day long and tells them how to navigate these situations. So it's so funny, right? I love this. My nephew works in an oil rig. He makes a lot of money. Absolutely. Real workers on oil rigs will not ask for money. Amen, sister. I love that, Maria. So yes, that is like my client Travis, 100%. So right, he was our one-on-one client. Okay, next questions. How to stop using a special app to enhance my pictures. Oh no, I need to at 56. Okay, now let's get real here, y'all. You don't need to enhance your photos. You are telling yourself a bad story. You are saying, I'm not pretty enough. I look old. I looked better 10 years ago. I need to smooth out my face or whatever it is. No, 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 no. Tell yourself the good story. I'm beautiful exactly as I am, and I'm going to put myself out there in all of my glory, exactly what I look like without filters, and the lid to my pot is out there. Don't get into the filters and all of that, because yeah, those filters can make everybody look amazing. I didn't even know how awesome these filters are. In our dating practice at SDA, we don't use any filters. We have a zero Photoshop policy, and I know all of you that are our clients know that. So it's good photography is part art and part science. So we don't Photoshop anything because it can be the first act of self-sabotage, right? Because people want to date the person in the picture. And then if it's the over-filtered, Photoshopped, Snapchat doe-eyed, long-lashed version of you, and then the real you shows up, guess what they're going to think? Well, where's that person that was in the photographs? You're like, well, no, that was just a filter. This is me. You don't want to do that. You don't want to put yourself in that situation. And I don't want you to put yourself in that situation. Okay. So don't use the filter apps. Let's see. How do you keep those initial phone conversations short and leave them wanting more? Limit your phone conversation to anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes, right? And I think it was Bill who had an hour and a 2-hour long conversation. Okay, fine. These are just guidelines that we give you. Keep it short, keep it fun, keep it positive, connect. And then at a certain point, just say, hey, listen, I've actually got to get going. My kids need dinner, or God, I can't believe the minutes just flew by. And if you need more boundaries on it, just say, hey, can we have a chat tonight from 5 to 5:30, right? When we do our coaching calls with our clients, they know how long the calls are. We know how long the calls are, right? And so everybody is all on the same page. They're not expecting an 8-hour coaching call because they'd probably be really sick of me or sick of Lindsay or Eileen at the end of 8 hours. I'm just kidding. But everybody knows how long the sessions are, okay? So that's what I would tell you. Just suggest, would you like to talk tonight from 7 to 7:20 or 7 to 7:30? And I bet you it's relieving for the other person as well when we put boundaries around it and time boundaries, because then nobody has to feel like they have to sit on the phone for 8 hours, right? Like, hey, do you want to hop on a quick 20-minute phone call, right? When I do introductory calls, when so many people are interested in our practice, I'm like, it's a 20-minute chat where I can learn more about you and find out if you're a good fit for us, and vice versa. So people know how long that call is going to be. It's totally fine to do that. How to unghost. Oh my God, you guys, I was going to tell you the story of the people in my Instagram feed. Oh, I knew when my brain went dark that I was going to tell you guys something. So the people that I posted in my Instagram post in my feed, and if you didn't see it today, go in and take a look at it. That beautiful woman, Carol, was a client of ours for a year, and Carol went out on a date with Steve, and he's in the photographs on my Insta post today. And after 5 great dates 2 years ago, he ghosted her. She was not my client then. Took her out on her birthday. Her birthday is today, 2 years ago. They had a great 5th date, nothing, 0. She never heard from him again. What the what? So let me think, Carol came to me around Memorial Day last year, and she says, Bella, I really want to work with you seriously in a long-term engagement. And so we started working together. Sure enough, there was a reason. The universe conspired. Guess who came back into her life, into her inbox? Steve. Yeah. And she called me a week later. She says, all of my friends are telling me, just blow him off. Who does that? Once a ghoster, always a ghoster. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I get that, but let's treat this like we would if we were investigative journalists. And so I told her how to message Steve back, and she was copying me on all of the conversations. So I was clearly helping her navigate, script everything back and forth, but he had a very, very legitimate reason for ghosting her. Well, legitimate in that he's like, you were so amazing, Carol, and so awesome. And she's the COO of a big publicly traded company, adorable, beautiful, smart, all that is good, an amazing golfer. And he said, I felt like you were too good for me. You were out of my lane. And so he ghosted. And he spent the next 2 years dating women that weren't as smart, that weren't as successful, that, maybe were cute. But he says, for 2 years, I thought about you and how bad of a mistake I made. So he says, I don't know if you would ever even have a phone call with me, but I'd be happy to tell you why. So I said to her, let's have a call with him, see what happens. The call went well. They met for a glass of wine. That went well. Mind you, she's working with me, so she's got a dating funnel, so she's got plenty of other people going in that direction. You guys, I put him through 4 months of hoops that he had to jump through with her before we would even commit to being exclusive. Okay, months and months. And he did the therapy, he did the work, he had the right language. And in fact, so much so that they now are in Florida together. He rented a place and he invited her to spend several weeks with them, and they're there. And he said, I want to meet your friend Bela, your coach, who was the only person that gave me a chance, who was the only person in your life that said, give this guy a chance. Let's see what happens. And we let him reprove himself. He asked, if you look at my post today on my feed, he asked to do a Zoom call with me because he wanted to meet me and he wanted to thank me for bringing the love of his life back. So that is what happened. So sometimes ghosting, you never know, you guys. This is case by case. And Carol, they sent me the hugest bouquet of flowers you could imagine. Like, just thank you. I'm like, you have to have that. You have to address every situation step by step by step, and go to my Insta feed, like the post, show them some love. This is a 100% real story. So he ghosted her, did his work. So like I said, sometimes the ghost can unghost himself and be a really good person when he's done the work. He's like, I had so many insecurities based on my last marriage. I thought I wasn't good enough. And he did the work, and he couldn't be prouder. He's like, she's the most gorgeous, smart, amazing woman. Like, I can't believe my stars every day that I got her. So we're going down to Florida for spring break. They're like, come have dinner with us. I'm like, I have the best job in the world. This man, her boyfriend, wanted to Zoom with me. And of course I said yes. And we had an amazing conversation together. And I said to her, this is it. This is the lid to your pot. I am so glad that we walked this process together. And he said to me during the call, can you tell me, how do we keep this relationship on track? Like, tell me how to be the better partner. I was like, oh my God, I love this man. So they are an amazing couple. So throw some hearts up for Carol and Steve. Steve, who ghosted her, unghosted, and now they couldn't be happier with each other. But there was a lot of work that he did on his own and then through my hoops to get to where he is now. So that is the story that I want to leave you with, you guys, is that you never know. And if you need the help, get the help. Don't traverse this process alone. Build your village. I'm so glad you're part of our Instagram family. If you want to be part of our Smart Dating Academy family, go to our website, fill out a contact form. I'm happy to talk to you for 20 minutes as well. Thank you so much for being on this call tonight. I know so many of you are like, does he have friends? Does he have a partner? Look at the guy. He's 6 feet tall. He is adorable. He's fit. He's an amazing golfer. He has a company. It's bananas how amazing they are together. So magic wand waved, and you guys share your good stories with me, and with permission, I will share your stories. Any of you that have new boos, I know Bianca, Peggy, all of you guys, my sweet one-on-one clients. I am so happy to have done this with you guys. So I will keep you posted about next week's IG Live. Getting that second shot the day before. So from what I've heard from a lot of people, the second day is pretty rough. So I will let you guys know on Wednesday if we're going to do the live or if poor Bella's got a fever and is laying around and laid up. Thank you so much for the birthday wishes. Thank you so much for being part of our Instagram family. I love all of you guys, and I hope to see you next Thursday. I'm crossing my fingers and my toes. Join our database, go to smartdatingacademy.com, and we love you, and I hope to see you really soon. Mwah! Good night.